When 8th graders across the country were tested for reading, most scored between 20 and 35% of grade level. The worst scores for reading are in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital.
This past summer, I was a language arts tutor for a camp called Kid Power that works with underserved DC middle schoolers. The first day, I realized that I wasn't there to help with sentence structure or grammar. I had to teach one 12-year-old boy basic reading skills. I got close to the kids over the summer and feel strongly about how unfair schools are being to them. So this isn't just a public service announcement. This is personal.
Rarely is the question asked, how is our children learning?
I got to ask that question to Gregory Henderson, Director of Strategic Partnerships at Kid Power, who I got to work with last summer. I told Mr. Henderson about a study by the Annie E. Casey Foundation listing 4th graders in the U.S. scoring below proficient reading level. DC was listed as 83%. It seems like a really huge number. Like, is this really true?
I would say, from my experience, those studies ring true. When I was teaching, proficient was always something that they strove the kids to get to. Got to be proficient, got to be proficient. Now that I've worked in the after-school program, we've really kind of broken down the data to show to our grantees and funders how well our kids are doing. We've discovered that proficient really isn't that great in terms of their basic skills. Proficient is probably at the very, very low end of being just capable of doing the schoolwork.
I also talked to my neighbor Tim Welsh, who's been a kindergarten teacher in DC public schools since 1986.
Kids who get behind stay behind, and that doesn't mean that they're not smart. It's just a tricky task.
In 2007, 36% of DC residents aged 16 and over were at lowest level of illiteracy. This doesn't bode well. So is DC doing anything right?
Is DC doing anything right? But I do think that holding the teachers accountable was the first step. You know, getting teachers into the school system who are energetic and enthusiastic about bringing these levels up, taking each kid home with them in their hearts and their souls. And we can't depend on the school system. We all have to see it as a community issue. You know, our kids, we have to all take into account that our kids are our future. And we can't sit around and look at somebody else and place the blame. We all have to try to do our part.
It's said that by 3rd grade, a child learns to read, but in 4th grade, a child reads to learn. If they still can't read in middle school, it's extremely challenging to play educational catch-up. So, if we want all our kids to get their diplomas, we'd better get moving on this issue.